What's the secret to great leadership? No, it's not vision, it's not strategy, and it's not impact. And no, it's not in books, it's not in business school, and it's not even in the workforce. The secret to great leadership is actually not out there, it's in here, in each of us, leading authentically, leading as ourselves. Let me tell you another secret. If you're not leading authentically, you're probably not a great leader. Research says that when leaders don't lead authentically, people don't tend to trust them, and people don't think they're a great leader. And if you're not leading authentically, you might have even crossed the Rubicon. A Rubicon is a line that you cross where there's no turning back. But it's not too late. I came back, and you can too. I'm 21. I'm in the U.S. Air Force officer training, otherwise known as boot camp. I'm in Florida. It's the middle of the summer. It's 5 a.m., but I'm already sweaty. I'm out in the fields, and I'm surrounded by 25 others, all men except for me. We're in formation, we're standing at attention, and I'm in the front row. There's a sergeant in front of us who barks out, "Good morning! We will start with the warm-up of 50 diamond push-ups." And he looks at me. "But you can do them on your knees." "Sergeant, make it 60. 58, 59, 60. I'm tough because that's what a leader is. Now, I'm 26. I'm a U.S. Air Force captain. I'm stationed in Guam, which is a tiny island next to the Philippines. And I'm doing what good leaders do, which is called the walk around. It's Monday morning, I'm in the mess hall. It smells like overcooked eggs. I'm wearing my fatigues. I walk around, "Hey, good morning, how was your weekend?" "Good morning, how was your weekend?" "Oh, hi ma'am, how are you?" And as I'm walking around, I see Airman John. Airman John's in the back corner. He's by himself. And his head's down. So I walk over. "Airman John, good morning." Oh, good morning, ma'am. Good morning." I can see his eyes are red, puffy. "Airman John, everything okay?" "Well, actually, ma'am, I'm homesick. It's the first time I've ever been away from home." And in that moment, my heart softens because I remember what it was like when I was first away from home. And I had cried into my pillow for weeks. So all I want to do is wrap my arms around Airman John and say, so what I do is, I say, "Airman John, listen, it's tough times like this that you have to be tougher. Chin up." And I walk away. Now, I'm 30. I'm a brand manager at a Fortune 200 company, and I'm in New York. I'm in my hotel room. It's a 33rd floor. It is floor to ceiling, glass windows. Oh, the view. The sun is rising, the skyline. Oh, Empire State Building. Oh, Brooklyn Bridge. I am pumped. I've been preparing for weeks for this presentation. And sure, it's got company, business, profit and loss, but the magic is the stories. For example, I'm going to tell a story about Gloria. She's a single mom in the Philippines, and she's got the most adorable 3 kids, 3, 5, and 7. And Gloria told me, "Analiza, please make sure that you tell headquarters that We really appreciate these free dental hygiene checkups. I had no idea why my kids couldn't sleep, and now I know what to do to solve those cavity problems. So I've got the best stories. So here I am walking into headquarters. I see the presentation room. It's got this long table. We've got the executives, and then we've got the presenters. I see there's 5 of us. I'm the last presenter. So I listen to the first presentation. Goals, data, more data. Next presentation. Goals, data, more data. Next presentation. Goals, data, more data. Goals, data, more data. And then it's my turn. What am I going to do? My whole presentation is stories. So I shuffle my note cards. And then I hear a the executive. Analiza, whenever you're ready, we're waiting. So I push back my chair and I shuffle to the front of the room. And there's my first slide. It's Gloria with her adorable kids. I look to the executives, and then I look at Gloria, and then I look at the executives. And I grab my slide kicker. Here are the goals for my brand. Here's the data from prior year. And here's the data we're projecting for next year. And I listen for the response. I hear the clinging of coffee mugs being picked up. I hear the push away of seats. And then I hear the steps as people leave the room. Back in my hotel room, the curtains are drawn closed. The room's cold. My dinner is cold. My sheets are cold. I'm cold. Now I'm a nonprofit CEO, and this work, it's magic. It's about the heart. It's about service. It's about giving. And as I look at my team, and I look at other nonprofit CEOs, I realize it's also about sacrifice. So I skip my morning workouts, breakfasts, I skip lunches, and then I start to skip bedtime rituals with my 2 young kids. So it's a Tuesday night. I am in the living room couch, normal Tuesday, the lights are off, laptop's open, tip-tap, clickety-clack, sending those emails out. And then I hear a pit-pat, 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 plop. What are you doing here? It's my 4-year-old, Scarlett. Mama, I couldn't sleep. I just been thinking about my birthday. Oh, right, your birthday's coming up. What do you want for your birthday? Well, Mama, I narrowed it down, and the thing I really, really, really want is to cuddle with you. We never do that anymore. And that's when my heart broke. And I'd gone too far. I realized I'd crossed the Rubicon, and I'd been leading like someone else. But it was my baby that brought me back, and I realized I could lead like me. I could be committed, and I could have boundaries. I could share data and stories. I could be tough and soft. Now I'm an executive coach, and I focus on C-suite leaders, specifically women leaders of color. I've got a podcast called Women of Color Rise. I've got a book about women of color and leadership. And in front of me, I have Marla. Marla is the CEO of a national nonprofit. And wow, check out this reputation. Bold, fearless, a leader of steel. So I asked Marla, why now for an executive coach? And she says, listen, Analiza, I feel like I'm leading 2 separate lives. I've got this work life, and I've got this home life. And believe it or not, I'm really funny. I'm a jokester. I love to dance, and I love to sing, and I'm not a good singer. And you know those commercials with the puppies? Yeah, those bring tears to my eyes. But at work, and she hands me some papers. I take the papers, and it's her 360. It's what her staff had said about her. And she'd highlighted words. Robotic, distant, cold. She said, Analiza, I don't want to lead like this anymore. And I said, Marla, this is your Rubicon moment. You've been leading like someone else, but it's not too late. You can come back and lead like yourself. And she said, well, yes, Analiza, but how? And I said, I've got 3 B's for you. The first B is to believe. Believe in you. What makes you you? These are your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, your identity, your lived experience, and share. And so at the next staff meeting with all 300 staff in person, she shared her why. Yeah, team, I grew up in Brooklyn. So if you take the L train to the very last stop, that's where I was born. My mom, she was 16 when she had me. It was actually Grandma that raised me. And when Grandma passed, we lost our house. So I had to live out of my mom's car. And I remember Mom and me, I'd be wearing my backpack to school, and I had to pretend that everything was okay, even though everything was not okay. And that's why I do this work, because I never ever want anyone, especially a young person, to go through this ever again. So later, a staff member came to her and said, Marla, I understand now why you push us so hard. So the first B is to believe in you and share. The second B is to be barefaced. Ditch the mask. We often think as leaders, we can't have emotions, we can't have feelings. But the reality is we want to share the highs, the lows, the sadness, the silliness. And so the next check-in, Marla came to me and said, Analiza, I took your advice to heart, and I told a joke at the board meeting. I said, great, like a knock-knock joke? And she said, oh, no. I told a joke about going through menopause. Menopause? And how did that go? And she said, well, it was awkward. There was a long silence. And then a board member said, girl, me too. It was the best board meeting. There was so much laughter, so many giggles. It was my favorite by far. And we got the work done. So the second B is to be barefaced, ditch the mask. The last B is to build for others. As leaders, we're not just trying to lead authentically for us, we're also leading for others and helping them lead authentically too. So Marla started small. First, she changed the check-in structure. Instead of diving straight into business, she would ask, how are you arriving? And at first, people said, good, fine, okay. But then it evolved to anxious, scared, and then one time, a staff member shared, I'm really, really sad. Her father had suddenly passed, and so Marla and the team were able to support her during this challenging time. So that third B is to build for others. Slowly, the staff culture started to change, and one time at the staff survey, there was a comment that said, I'm beginning to trust leadership. I realize that they're human, they're not perfect, and that's okay. And then Marla, she told me, Analiza, for the first time, I feel like a whole person. I feel free. We've been told this lie that leaders have to fit a mold, but the reality is the best leaders, they break that mold. And so I ask you, what is your Rubicon? Are you leading like someone else? It's not too late. You can come back and lead as you. Thank you.